And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, hosted by me, Sadon Long. And today we are in part two of my 7 step, 7 figure system. So, yesterday was part one, today is part two. And the reason that we're doing this, because a lot of people ask, like, man, how do you do this? And when they ask that question, it's kind of like it's a little bit longer of an answer than just, oh well, I help people, close deals, raise their prices. It's really like a system and a process. And to be quite honest with you, people at home, if you don't have a system and a process, it's really hard to be successful because the systems dictate what you do each and every day. You know, the processes dictate what you do each and every day. So each and every time somebody asks me, it's just kind of like, well, I have a system in the process that allows my customers to attract, keep, close, and then turn them into a self-scaling sales machine. That just really doesn't do it justice. I mean, it's great. It does help you turn free social media into cold hard cash. It does help you keep your customers longer and get referrals and use those customers and their success in your program to attract other clients. It does all that. And in the process, it makes you a sought after thought leader capable of writing books, getting booked to speak, getting on podcasts, creating your own podcast. It really does open up a whole new um, world for you. It does, absolutely does. But when people ask, I just really never have enough time. And unlike most people, I'm willing to share it. Now people are going to say, well, why would you share your secret? Well, here's the thing. When I work with a client, it's customized. So we use the framework of the 7 gets. But if I'm working with you, then what we put in the 7 gets, how we say it, who we say it to, why we say it, becomes about your client. You know, so if you're watching this and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to do what he said do. Absolutely can. I have no problem with that. I want you to do that. I want you to try it. I want you to taste it and see that it works. And at some point, if you're like, man, I'm good at it, then let's sit down and talk about it. So not only can we figure out how to make it better, we can make it faster and easier. And if you're struggling with it, I'd love to sit down and talk to you about how to figure out, how to find your voice, how to figure out what your headline should be, how to figure out what you should focus on, what you should offer. Yeah. But I'm willing to give you the steps for free. So because I'm giving you the steps for free, share it with everybody else, man. Get it out there to people that you know are in business so that you all can benefit from it. So that this time next year you're all successful. So that after this Christmas, you've all been able to see a huge spike in your revenue. You know. So again, I'm giving it away. I want you to know what it is. I want you to be able to use it. Because I realize that business is hard. And I don't care who you are, you have to have sales. There is no grant big enough to cover you for the rest of your life. And if there is, can you please point me to it? But again, I'm pretty sure if you're at home, you're figuring out how I can do a little bit better. How can you do a little bit better? That's the question. How can you do better? How can you get a customer who's going to pay you what you're worth, who's then going to buy more product, who's then going to use the product well enough for them to be successful with it, then be willing to tell you how they did with what you did or gave, so that you can then tell other people, and then so that you could then also get a referral from them. Because that's what you need from a customer. You need them to pay your price, use your product, and use it effectively so that they have a testimonial that they can then share with you, so that that testimonial could then build trust with other people who are then on the fence. you know they're really not sure that they want to work with you, but now that testimony then gives you a tipping point in that other person's life. They're like, oh, I was thinking about it, I wasn't sure, but now I see that I do want to work with them. And when you do that part, now you're getting customers without having to do any work. You know, instead of you prospecting, instead of you tagging, instead of you sharing, you can actually start seeing your phone ring without you having to pick it up. And those leads and those customers are a lot better. So that's what we're trying to get to with the 7 steps. So today, we're talking about the opt in and list building. Okay. Um, Opt in simply means to give you their information. I know I'm talking to grown folks because, if you're doing this, you're probably not from the space. So I don't want to get all, confusing. Opt in just simply means give you their information. So you get the information. Now it's a list. Okay. There are different kinds of lists. And when you talk to different marketers may try to sell you a list, or they may um, tell you that they have lists that you can use. But now when that list doesn't convert, you may have wasted your money. So even if you're going to buy a list, make sure that it is a list that has customers that have a problem that you can solve on it. Yeah. So with that being said, that's just a little caveat when it comes to list building. Ideally, you want to build your own list, because if you build your own list, it's filled with people who are interested in what it is that you're offering, that they've been shopping and searching for a solution that you can obviously help them with, which is why they opted into it. So the opt-in or getting that does three things for you. Okay. What does an opt-in do? Opt-in does three things. Opt-ins do three things. Number one, it helps you get closer to a sale. Okay. So they didn't know who you were. You got their attention. They gave you their information. Now you're closer to a sale. No different if you met a man or a woman and they gave you their phone number. Now you're closer to a date. Okay. So first of all, it helps you get closer to a sale. It is an actual follow-up opportunity for you to then solicit them for a sale. Now, ideally, when they opt in, you want them to reach out to you and say, "Hey, how do I get your product?" But even if they don't, it gives you the opportunity to circle back around. Number two, it helps you protect yourself from poverty. Because if you've ever had a slow sales period, like we talked about yesterday, you can then use the Dean Graziano method of just simply saying, "Hey, did you ever find a solution? Are you still in the market? Would you like to set up a call to talk about fixing the problem I know you had a few months ago?" I tell the story about having a client in my inbox for, I think it's February, March, April, May, 4 months. I didn't know them, they didn't know me. And in the fifth month, I saw it, hit them up. 3 days later, we were doing business and we did 600K in like 5 months. We did business for a couple years, you know, and it gave me an opportunity to test my work with another client. But if he wasn't in the inbox, I couldn't have reached out to him, you know. So again, it helps you protect yourself from poverty, because even if they didn't buy from you, even if they haven't done anything in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, but they may have your problem. If you're a landscaper, maybe they did use somebody else, and maybe somewhere along the lines it went wrong, and now they're in the market again. And just when they were in the market again, you hit them up with an email, you hit them up with a text message, you reached out to them and made a touch in some way, shape, or form that sparked and reminded them, "Oh, that's right, you can help me." Or even if they ignored the text or email or inbox that you sent them for 3 or 4 months, you know, maybe now they're ready. You know, they didn't work with you last winter. They regretted the person they did work with last winter. Now, here they are. We're about to be winter again. And they're like, "Man, let me call this guy out. Let me get this work done." You know, you never know when a random sale is going to come, but you always want to position yourself for the random sale. I'm going to repeat that. You never know when the random sale is going to come, but you always want to position yourself for the random sale. So if you have the list, you can then reach out to the list. Um, Another example, I used to work in retail. I was the department manager. And my department was shoes. And I had a list of women who wore certain sizes that were very hard to find, you know. And they were very jazzy, beautiful women. They just happened to wear 10s and 11s, and in some cases a 12. You know. But they also wanted the handbag and the shoe matching combos. But when we got them, they would go really fast. So guess what I would do? I would get with buyers, hop on the phone, call my buyers. Man, find me some 11s. I'm looking for styles like this or these particular styles. And there would be places all over the country that had 11s that they weren't moving. I would get those 11s sent to me and the handbags that matched them. Because, hey, you can't move it. You might as well send me everything you got. And guess what? I got the merch, picked up the phone, made the call. So what would happen is, person doesn't come to the mall by themselves. They're going to bring their girlfriend. So now they bring their homegirl. Maybe their homegirl doesn't wear an 11, but she came. She might as well buy some shoes since she's here. So then you start seeing sales just leap. Why? Because they know that I'll get them what they want. They know that I'm the person to go to when they need a shoe. They know that I'm the person to call. So now, instead of me having to call them, they're checking in every week. Hey, did you get that in yet? Did you find something for me? You got anything new? I got something coming up. I need another fit, and I want to wear this color. So if you can find me something in this color, and they're not going to my competition, they're coming to me. So when I say it can protect you from poverty, it literally can protect you from poverty. You know, because even when people do pop-ups and lists go together like a hand in glove. You do a pop-up, you have a grand opening, you do any of those things, you need a list so that you can do pre-sales. And the reason you can do the pre-sale is because they already know, like, and trust you. They've already tasted your product and done business with you. You then now get the opportunity to get sales before you even open. You know, you get sales before they open, before you open. You go into the place and they don't have a Jordan. Hey, they put your name on the list. Hey, when they come in, I'm gonna call you. Same situation. You know, they're calling you back because they want the sale. You're calling them back because you want the merchandise. So again, list building helps protect you from poverty because you need sales. And once you've identified somebody who will give you money, you need to stay in touch with them, stay engaged with them, keep them aware of what's going on. You know? And then the third thing it does is it allows you, the third thing that list building does is it allows you to make mistakes and start over. Okay. You can make some serious mistakes with finances. Maybe you bought the building too quick. Maybe the ovens went out. Maybe your whole system broke down. And now you're back, starting from scratch, starting over, trying to get it out of the mud. And you can use your list to get back in the game. And if you don't have a quality list, but your friends have a quality list, you can then use their list to get back in the game. Hey, we have similar customer base. I got a really great product that I know your customers are going to like. Like Turn Free Social Media and the Cold Hard Cash. It's going to help your audience and it's going to help me. And I'll give you a cut of the profits if you just pitch it to your audience. Since we already know your audience are buyers, so now they're able to make money, and all they got to do is give you access to their list. You're able to make money because you just got access to a bunch of buyers. But it also works in reverse. You have a list, you have a following, you have a group of people that rock with you and love you, that trust you and trust your taste. You can then do the same thing in reverse. Hey, I have a list of adult women between the age of 38 and 50 who follow me. You can have access to my list if you give me a portion of the product profits. It's like back in the day when people really were listening to radio, and Steve Harvey would have an artist on that he really liked. Don't know if the label had anything to do with that or not, but Steve would have somebody on he really liked, and then he'd say, "Hey, y'all, you know, we about to shut this website down. Showing what Steve Harvey Nation can do." So what do? You guys all go out and you buy whatever the herbal tea is. By the way, Steve now sells supplements, so that was kind of the impetus for him getting into supplements, that they saw he could sell supplements. But again, same thing with an artist. Hey, this album cold, this record cold. I need y'all to get out right now. You know, the Beehive is just a list. You know, you see what the Beehive does. It's a list. That's all it is. You know, followers is a list. You know, now the reason you don't want them to be on Twitter and you want them to be on your personal Rolodex and you want them to be in your personal, what I guess whatever file you use to capture your leads on, you know, um, whatever the grid is. I can't remember the doggone thing. My it escapes me. But anyway, you want them to be, in a way that you can access them, whether or not the platforms are available. So if Instagram goes down, you still got your list. If you get kicked off Facebook, you still got your list. If you get put in Facebook jail, you still have your list. And on your list, when you're sending emails, there are things that you can't say on Facebook, but you can say them in an email. There are things that you can't say on Instagram or YouTube because those are their platforms. But in your OnlyFans, in your um, small groups, workshops, you can say things and do things that will get you kicked off Facebook. Now, what those things are, go do the research. I don't know what you would say, um, or what claim you would make, but a lot of times, they're very particular about financial claims. I know you can't do a lot of before and afters, but obviously, if you're standing in a room full of people, you say, "Hey, here's the picture of me before. Now you can see me. Here's the picture of Carol. There's Carol standing right there." Facebook won't let you do that. But if you get the list and you invite them out, you can do that, which may take your sales through the roof. So then, just to wrap this up, helps you get closer to a sale, helps protect you from poverty, and it gives you a chance to fail and start over. Because even if it all goes bad, even if it all shuts down, even if you make a mistake, you can then pick up the phone and do the Dean Graziano thing, which is, hey, are you still interested? Wondering if you were interested in doing business again, taking a meeting with me, whatever. But if the people opted in the first place, there's a higher probability of them saying yes than somebody who doesn't know you at all. There we go. All right. So now the question is how and who. Now we'll talk how first, and then we'll talk who second. Okay. So how do you get it? How do you get people on your list? Well, first of all, you can just ask. Hey, would you like to join our mailing list? Would you like to join our VIP? Would you like to join our whatever? You can just simply ask them. Would you like to? And you'll get way more people asking than if you don't. Just that simple. You know. Now the other ones are, you could offer a lead generator. You know, so you could offer a lead generator, and well, what's the doggone lead generator? Well, lead generator is something that they want bad enough to give you their contact information for. That is what a lead generator is. Now, it could be a discount code. I got notes. I'm looking at them. It's okay. It could be a discount code. So you know, click here and we'll give you 30% off. Click here to get your discount code. Click here to get your coupon. You know, if you have a click here to get the coupon, now you have their information. Now you're able to interact with them. Now you're able to communicate with them. Now you've gotten them off the social media platform and made them a part of your platform. So you could offer a discount code. You could offer free access. You could offer pre-sale opportunity. You could offer something that gives them a benefit. You get to figure out which one of those things that really gives them a benefit is, but you could offer them something that makes them want to do it. If you buy early, you get 10% off. Buy before the movie comes out, get choice seating, get a free popcorn. You see this stuff happening all around you. You just have to figure out how to tap into it and use it for your business. You could also do case studies. Case studies is a great, here's how I lost weight, step by step. You know, Here's me interviewing, local CEOs. Here's me, whatever it is, you can turn it into a case study. How you lost weight, secrets of CEOs, secrets of small business owners, interviews with the mayor, podcasts, bonus episodes. All those things are reasons for somebody to trade their information to get it. You could also use templates, like here's a special step by step on how to make copy. Here's a special step by step on how to make a video. Here's a special step by step, you know, on how to make strawberry shortcake or whatever it is. I'll give you a special recipe. You give me your information, or you can always use ebooks. Ebook. You know, shout out to designer. You can go to designer, make your own ebook. Design is very inexpensive and it's very effective. But you can use ebooks. Like if you go to Grown and Rich right now, you'll get how to retire, off one property, you know, which is something that Dwayne and I wrote a couple years ago. But man, for free, in exchange for your information, you'll get an ebook from somebody who sells real estate and has probably more real estate than most people that you're going to see on the internet on how to do it. Glossary included, step by step. It's free. If you go right now, you'll get it. Who wouldn't want that? When richest black man in the country gives you an ebook, who wouldn't want it? I don't know. Seems real simple to me. Um, so you can use ebooks. You can, again, back to the recipes. You could use specialized stuff. One of the things that I always talk about with my catering clients is you need to start understanding what your client wants. You could do for you and your boo recipes. 8 romantic recipes for single ladies looking for a husband. Sweetest Day just passed. That would have been a great lead generator. Um, you could do right now, literally. But you got New Year's Eve coming up, so you could do drink recipes. You could do holiday soul food recipes for people who struggle with cooking soul food. So again, you just have to know what your customers want. And if you can take pop culture, pieces of pop culture that people are familiar with to build a title, it'll help. Like I said, for you and your boo, that's something that people are kind of familiar with. If you're of a certain age, you would buy those CDs and tapes and you put them in your car and you ride around with them. Yeah, that was in the early stages of the mixtape. And here's one more: you can offer free calls with you. Like I do Make Money Fast. It's a 30-minute call. It's not uncommon for people to get off the call and to make money as soon as they got off the call. I've talked to people. We talked about what they need to do. How so they got off the call, they did it. Hit me back 15 minutes later. Like, hey man, I just got sale. Sometimes it's with old clients, sometimes with new client. Because like I said, you never know when the random sale is coming, but you need to prepare yourself for it and be in position to get it when it comes. Sometimes somebody's been thinking about it. They got their money now. They got their taxes now. They got whatever. A lot of people had that PPP money and that helped a lot of clients out. But you got the money. You don't know that they're thinking about it. But because they have access to you and you have access to them, now the opportunity for you to make some money becomes available. Take out a sheet of paper, write down all the possible things you could trade for names. You could do a small group training for free. And you're saying, well, why would I want to do it for free? Okay, so let's use math real quick. Let's just say you get a training with 50 people in it. Okay, you did it for free. Of those 50 people, now they've all got to experience your work and move them a little bit closer to a sale. It made them trust you a little bit more. So now, this in general thing, just like this podcast, in general thing, they want a customized version. So you went from way out here in this big group setting to now maybe 10 of those people were willing to pay you whatever, 50 to $10,000, depending on your customer, you know, to be in a small mastermind group, a mastery class, to be in some kind of environment where they get closer to you. Now, the 10 people who gave you the money for the small group, there's probably 3 or 4 of those people who give you money for a one-on-one. So we went from big group, which gave us leads, which gave us people's information, knowing that in that group there were people who wanted to give me money. So now pull those people out, put them in a small group, mastermind. That's the term that most people are familiar with. So you put them in your smaller group, and here's a caveat to that: don't take everybody who wants to be in your smaller group. Again, if you're watching this right now, you need to be 35, 35 plus. So 35 or above. You need to be in business. You had to have at least had a couple $1,000s worth of sales in the last month. We don't want to focus on dreamers right now because there's a time and a place for dreamers. I got no problem with with your dream and helping you achieve it. But we want to focus on people who wake up each and every morning knowing that they need to improve sales. People who wake up each and every morning knowing that they have bills and mortgages and kids and parents. We want to help those people, because helping those people is how we help the world. You know, if I help you build a better business so now you can afford payroll, not only did I help you, I helped the people you paid. That's simple. So I help the mother that owns the company, but then I help the mother that works for her. Then I help the dad that works for her. Because there's nothing worse than working and not getting paid. Um, Nothing worse than working and trying to rush to the bank and hope that you cash your check before all the money's gone in the account, because one person's going to get left with only half their check being able to be paid, or one person's going to get left not being able to pay. And that person's going to have to then go home to his family and say, well, honey, I didn't get paid. So we want to help those people first. Those are the people that we want to see grow and be stable and consistent with their earning, because I know that not only does it help them, but it helps their families. And if the profits are right, then I know that the Christmases are right. And I know that those people are now creating better lives, and that helps everybody. So I love my dreamers. There's a time for dreamers. Realistically, to be quite honest, if you're a dreamer, you might want to low key take this opportunity to jump on before everybody else and get you a make money fast call. Because I'm not turning you away. I'm just saying that this is who this is for. So if you jump over there, you can do that. But in regard to groups and restart things like that, we want to help people 35 plus. We've had a great run at helping people 35 plus. We've had a great run with helping people who are in business. Now, some people I've helped who are in business, they've been under 30, and it's exciting. And if you hear me talk about them, I call them my babies. So, with that being said, don't take everybody. Don't get 50 people in the group and then like, hey, I want all y'all. No, because some of those people you can't help. Some of those people are going to keep you from helping the other people that you're really good at helping and you can be impactful with. So don't take everybody, because the other side of that is you're going to take people you can help and then they're going to complain. They're going to go to the internet. They're going to say you're a scam artist. They're going to go to the internet and air you out. So why would I take people I can't help, not be able to help them, and then have them talk bad about me, which is then going to influence the people who are on the fence about whether or not they should do business with me. So don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't take everybody. Now, the other piece is the who's. Because you're a busy business owner, you're in business, and now it becomes a situation of who should you or who can you call or help, or who can call and give you some help. People call me because I create lead generators. I'll give you another story. Okay. So I had a client and she needed lead generator. Sales were a little sluggish. She needed more money coming in. Again, wanted to make sure she was able to keep her team working. So I created something for her that allowed her to get 1,000 leads in one day. And we added some components to it so that we could get information. And what we found out by adding those components, i.e., a questionnaire that they had to fill out in order to get the ebook that we wrote, that there were probably out of that thousand, at least 100 people who wanted to give her $10,000 or better. Because we asked, what would you pay for coaching? What would you pay for a one-on-one with me? And then we put the slots of price, $500, $1,000, $10,000. So we got you 1,000 leads, and of those 1,000 leads, we identified 100 people who would give you $10,000. Now, why wouldn't you do a lead generator again? Why wouldn't you take an opportunity to get actual information from your clients? Because remember, it puts you closer to a sale. So the very fact that they opted in, the very fact that they told you they would give you between $1,000 and $10,000, we reach out to those 100 people. Maybe they all don't give you $10,000, but I bet a few of them actually do. So why wouldn't you do it? You know, but here's the thing. She couldn't do it. No disrespect to her. She didn't have time. No, I'm pretty sure she sat down and did the research. She could do it. But I created the product. I wrote the book. I created the step by step. I created the process. Then she took it. Her team did the layout, created the logo, did all of the above, and put it out. Now, mind you, she didn't have to do anything other than be herself and run her company. Okay? So sometimes it's not about you sitting in a room and locking yourself in. Sometimes it's just simply you need to get out and hire somebody who can actually help make you some money. Yeah. It is not always your energy that gets you to the next level. Sometimes it is just simply having better people on your team. You know, simple as that. Michael Jordan and Jerry Krause helped each other. Scottie Pippen helped Michael Jordan. Dennis Rodman, whom they didn't like or want, helped Scottie and Michael become legendary by winning 3 titles together. So again, it's not always how. We spend a lot of time talking about how, but now I'm saying the fastest, quickest, easiest way to get a lot of these things done is who. You know, who knows how to do it? Who's done it before? Who has a team of people so I don't have to go out and hire 4 or 5 different people? who can all get it done in-house. If you call me, we'll get the whole thing done in-house. We'll get it written, we'll get it created, we'll get the strategy around it, and you can get it and put it out with your name on it. So again, it's not always the who. Sometimes it's the how, but sometimes it's not the how, it's the who. So need to figure out which time and which one of those things is going to be the one that you benefit from. So that's the math behind it. That's the science behind it. So you can now figure out for yourself which one um you should do. You know, should I offer a free class? Should I offer a free ebook? Should I offer a discount code? Or you could do all the above. You can offer the discount code sooner than later. See if it works. If it doesn't work, then you try the ebook. If the ebook doesn't work, because again, every time you get a lead, it gives you an opportunity to fail and start over because you have leads. And even if your leads get cold, you can always reheat them by simply calling them and asking them, "Hey, did you get your problem fixed?" You can always reheat them by saying, "Hey, we're running a special right now." You can always reheat them by adding new products. Hey, we got a new product out. You know, but it gives you a chance to fail and start over. I go back to when I worked in recruiting. I had a student one time. I don't even remember who the student was. Didn't know her from Adam. Hadn't seen her in so long. But I called her every other day for 2 years. And one day, her life changed, her situation changed, and she just walked through the door and says, "Hey, I'm ready to go back to school." Now, you would think, man, he called her for 2 years. That's dead. But she was on my list. And because she was on the list, I kept calling her. You know, there was no stop calling me. So obviously she was getting, the voicemails, and she was getting the occasional letter that we would send out. But when life changed, guess what? She came back. Now, is that the ideal way to spend your day and run your business? Probably not. Because just circling through and calling the same people over and over again might be too tedious for you. There's obviously a better way. And when you run your own business, you can try the better ways. I worked for those people, so I had to do it their way. Now ideally, I'm sure, there's other ways. And there may be other ways that are better than that. But at worst case, if you have their information, you can continue to send them an email. You send them a text until they say stop texting. And if they say stop, then you stop. But you never know when that person's life is going to change. So therefore, keep doing it. Oh, and by the way, go to Grown and Rich and sign up for our content marketing training for women. Hmm. So again, another way to get leads, another way to get help in exchange for your information. So that's basically step two. You know, I broke it down for you. I spread it out. I gave you a bunch of options. I told you why you should do it, why it's important. Told you about the impact it would have on your business. You know, gave you a couple ways to get it done. You know, so and one more thing: hooks and headlines. I was just about to get out here talking about hooks and headlines. I'm so sorry. I'm glad I got notes. So hooks and headlines, real quick. So you need to get this done, to get them to give you the information. You need to be offering again something they want. Something that is going to get their attention, their hook, them. That is the hook. Now you do that in the form of the headline. You know, go through, study YouTube, go through, study Facebook, all of the things that your competitors are doing, all the things that have gotten you to opt in, and start trying to create a headline that makes people want to jump in. You know, I mean, you look at all the clickbait, and you start to see a pattern in the clickbait. Try that. Also, if you've been following me, you know that I talk about writing down all the problems your customers are having, and then simply saying, I have a solution. You can do things like, hey, I got 3 ways to make your business run smoother in less than 35 minutes. Again, I am offering my 7-step to 7-figure system. Okay, so if you're making less than 7 figures, hmm, this might be something I want. And ideally, we want to add to that faster, easier, simpler, with less stress. You know, 7 simple ways to improve your sales in less than 6 minutes, less than 6 days, without having to leave your house. 7 ways to cook the perfect meal for Bay in 30 minutes or less. Let's go to Rachel Roy real quick. Rachel Roy has made her whole living off 30-minute meals. That's the foundation of what she did. Had an audience that was interested, which was working women who had families. So now she teaches them how to make a meal in 30 minutes or less. Hell, sometimes she taught them how to make 2 meals in less than 30 minutes. So guess what? Then Rachel was able to have a TV show. She was able to sell pots and pans. She was able to open up all these other streams of income for this same audience. You know, olive oil. To this day, I don't know what OVV is, or double OVV or whatever that stuff is but she sells olive oil. She sells the pots and pans. She sells knives. No different than Emerald Lagasse or Paula Deen or any of those people. So if you get it right and you do it long enough, now you get to open up all these other brands, which is what I always talk about. I'm like, not only are we going to help you get customers, we're going to help you keep them. We're going to help you raise your price and make your customers worth more by now turning them into a self-scaling sales machine. And then the last thing is we're going to turn you into this major brand thought leader that who can then sell other products, and then people want to interview, and then people want to read books by. So this is a big picture idea. This is not one little small piece just getting sales. No, we're going to get the sales. But then we're going to be able to help you get a better profit margin. But then we're going to make your customers worth more. So now, not only are they buying more consistently, they're bringing you other customers, and their testimonials are then helping you attract other customers. And their testimonials are, again, they can be used as case studies. This is how we actually did it with the human being, similar to you. So it can be used as a case study. But then when you get all this stuff rolling and you start making money and you start making an impact and you start having a following and you start building a list and a viewership, now that opens up a whole nother door, because now people want to put you on their podcast because they know you're going to bring your audience. They know you're going to entertain. They know you're going to be insightful. They know that you know stuff and you have a path to stuff that nobody else has a path to. So this is what we're getting to, and this is how we put it together. And me giving you the framework and me showing you how to do it and me working with you to perfect it is simply because you are already good enough to do it. You just don't know how. You 35 plus, that means that you've done something at least 10 to 15 years that somebody who's just starting out needs to know in order to get to 10 or 15 year mark. Because realistically, if you get a job, the goal is not to get it and get fired. If you start a business, the goal is not to go 1 or 2 years. So if you've been in business for 15, 20, 25 years, you need a book, you need a podcast. You need to be speaking to groups of people because you're one of the people who actually know. You're one of the people who's made it through, failed, had difficulties, figured out systems and processes to get over it, and then succeed again. I'm just here to show you how to put it together so that we can get you what you deserve, which is your flowers and your money, so that you can pass that on to other generations, so that you can then see people within your company grow, because I know you love those people. And if you grow those people and you grow your family. Then we got legacy, we got generational wealth, we got all those things that we talk about on all of these different podcasts and all of those different stuff. It actually happens. So, with that being said, this has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Sadon Long, your business big bro, aka the most dangerous man in marketing. Again, go over to growandrich.com and get a Make Money Fast call. Also, make sure you hit like and share and subscribe and all those good things, so that we can keep getting this message out to people just like you, um, so we can help the world that we live in be a little bit better than it was yesterday. Have a great day. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I'm out.